Welcome back to the Opening 45, the football podcast, which is those equivalent to those football debates down the pub with your mates. My name is Oliver Greystone, and with me, as always, is my co-host, Will Matthews. How's it going, Will?
Yeah, not bad, mate. Third time lucky for you this week, wasn't it?
That was the fourth time. I didn't even get past the title. Halfway through, I'm thinking, it is called the Opening 45, right? You've probably done me and you called me out at the start. No.
It's my fault, I jinxed you.
Well, joining us today is one of the, I say not founders, but he's involved with a new charity team called Springfield Road Football Club. It is Jan. How's it going, mate? You all right?
I'm all right. How are you? You all right?
Yeah, flustered. Will called me out at the start and said, I'm going to get it wrong, and I got it wrong. And now I'm off to a horrific start. But
friends like that, who needs enemies, eh?
Oh, you don't know half of it too.
This is me being nice to him.
Cool.
So every week on the show, we all follow a team, and today I'm following Southend. I'm actually watching it this week, so I think that's what's got me flustered. I'm more stressed out. The embargo's been lifted. We've got two players that we've had signed for ages finally playing, so I think that's what's put me on edge.
Bring back CFAX, eh?
Yeah. It'll be a lot less stressful. Normally I watch on Soccer Saturday, so I just have to wait for the red text to come up to tell me when we've conceded. But who are you following, Will?
I'm being brave this week, and I'm following the Mighty Canaries. They're playing Blackburn Rovers. 0-0 so far. Go on, Pookie. Hang on.
This is gripping. You wouldn't be able to do Soccer AM, would you, Will?
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, Pookie nearly scored. But yeah, I'm going to probably be crying in about 20 minutes. Blackburn have started well. So, yeah.
Okay. And if anyone's watched the extra show, we know that's one of the games on the on our 6 fixtures. So, again, that's interesting. Yeah, and you're a West Ham fan.
I am a West Ham fan, so obviously I'm very happy today. It could have been a different story had we lost last night, especially after the first couple of minutes with the penalty and stuff like that. But, yeah. Very, very happy at the moment. 5th in the table. I think I've almost got a constant nosebleed going on at the moment. We're all a bit too high.
Yeah, I was really ecstatic last season when you were sort of struggling. I really wanted you to go down, and it was just. I've got a few West Ham fans who are mates. I've got sort of mixed loyalties. I'm from basically a lot of my family are West Ham fans as well. But being a Southend fan, it's like we try not to like you, but there's no. There's no like anger toward each other. I think it's more of with Southend, it's like a jealousy of. Well,
you've had a few of our players over the years, haven't you? Sort of loaned out to help you and stuff like that, or hinder you. I don't know which one it's been, but maybe hindering you more than helping at times.
Yeah, I
like the sound of your family though. They sound like they're quite sensible, being West Ham fans. I trust them. I like them.
Yeah.
Family.
I say the old man is a Chelsea fan and Southend fan like myself, but. No, funny enough, I'm watching the game right now, and there's a lot of West Ham involved because we still got the same seats that we inherited from the Boleyn ground in the 70s. They're still in use.
I didn't even know that, actually. That's quite a cool fact.
No, the East Stand, so where the dugout is, they've got wooden seats. And, yeah, they were installed in the 70s, I think, and they were second-hand from the Boleyn ground.
Well, maybe I'll pay a visit now down there just to, sit on the Holy Grail as such.
That's it. The colour scheme is appalling. It's green, black, and yellow. But free seats. I think we even got the floodlights from you as well. So it's.
Did you pay for them or did you nick them?
I probably nicked them. Knowing us and knowing the chairman back then. So no West Ham for you today. So what game are you following?
I am following West Brom, who are currently 1-0, losing 1-0 to Newcastle. The reason for that is just my dad's a West Brom fan, so there wasn't anyone else I thought that was worth me kind of following today apart from that. But I'll be, if it stays like this, I'll be able to phone him up later and wind him up.
Is he from West Brom then? Is he?
No, he's from a village called Coggeshall in Essex. But I think it all stemmed from sort of like he liked players like Brian Robson and Jeff Astall and people like that. So it was one of those ones where it's more to do with the players at the beginning than it was maybe the team, and then it just grew from there. But to be fair to him, he's never wavered. He's stuck with them all the way through. He's come to games with me when obviously there's been like the West Ham, West Brom fixtures and things like that, and we've had mixed days, shall we say. There's been a few where we've been like 3-0 up and then it's ended 3-3 or lost 4-3 or something stupid like that, and then we've had it the other way around. So there's been some good memories for both of us supporting different teams.
Yeah, they've been a bit of for a long time, they were the laughing stock of the Prem, weren't they? Because they never stayed up. So they were tarnished as the worst wallpaper ever.
Well, to be fair, I don't think they're going to stay up this season as well. Not with Slav. As much as I loved him as a player, for a manager, without Payet, he wasn't the most tactically minded. Let's put it that way. He never had a plan B. It was plan A, which was Payet, and then after that, if he was injured or gone rogue or anything like that, we never really kind of played that great. To be fair.
Yeah, am I right in remembering when he
out this season?
When he came in, you were a bit crap, weren't you? If I remember rightly, is that right? He sort of steadied the ship. I think that's what got him a bit more.
Bilic.
Yeah, is that right?
I'd say it was still down more to Payet, to be honest. He brought that little bit of class, allowed players like Noble and who actually are technically quite good and maybe a little bit underrated, I'd say at times, to actually have someone decent to get the ball to and know that they're going to do something with it. I mean, we've had some donkeys over the years, and Payet was actually pure class. It's just a shame, like I say, he went a little bit rogue on that second season, but it did show really the lack of depth and class in the rest of the squad. The moment he wasn't playing the games, there was that little period in his first season, I think it was like near Christmas, and he was injured or whatever else, and for about a month I don't think we could buy a win, and it's because he wasn't playing. There was no plan B. I think he even played Antonio at right back for a period of time as well, so that tells you everything you need to know when you look at what he's doing now as well. So
yeah.
I don't miss those days. I prefer having Moisey, let's put it that way.
He's done well. When you first got him,
come on!
Sort of oh, there we go.
Fantastic. I'll take it you gone 1-0 up.
Yep. Yeah, see me, Pookie. I don't really know what happened. It actually said it on BT before it came up on iPlayer. It shows how iFollow shows how good.
Well, you got to give us a running commentary now. A bit better Soccer AM version, though.
Tetty got the ball on the edge, passed it to Pookie. Pookie near post. Yeah, it was a bit scrappy by Blackburn. I thought Blackburn were quite good at the back, but I think that all came from a corner. Was semi-cleared and then went out wide again and worked.
Oh, yeah, they're just showing it on Sky Sports News as well now.
Yeah.
Who did you have on your predictions on the extra show? I've got to plug that now.
I had 1-0.
Oh, you did, yeah.
Oh,
I went 2-0. I think we're all in for a shout here.
Near post that wasn't it? He's actually got it underneath the goalkeeper. That's good. 22nd minutes in and you 1-0 up. Happy days.
Well, we finally got a goal on the show. That's the most positive thing.
Because I'm watching Norwich. I've paid the money and Norwich are finally winning. So
there you go. A bit of good luck for you. Happy days.
You're on next week.
Using iFollow. You on iFollow?
Yeah. So I'm about 5 minutes behind.
Yeah, iFollow.
If I see anything interesting come up, I'll let you know.
I've got the BT on as well.
Oh, you got it on there as well. Happy days. What's the update from Southend? Still 0-0.
Still 0-0. There was a bit of a goalmouth scramble. I sort of put the shutters on at that point. I was a bit like, I don't want to watch. I don't know why I torment myself. Really, it's depressing. But, I sort of mentioned it in the intro. I put it a little bit. So Springfield Road is the football club.
Yes.
If you want to tell us a bit more about that and your involvement in that, that'd be great.
Well, yeah. I mean, basically, it's a club made up from employees all from HMP Chelmsford, so the prison in Chelmsford. It's quite unique. We're now a registered charity football team, and the team itself, the players that we have are literally across all different levels within the establishment. So you've got everyone from a civil servant up to sort of like the CMs within there. So you've got OSGs, prison officers, SOs, things like that. So it literally goes across all levels. So it's open to everybody to come in and be involved in the club. I mean, the club itself, I think, was formed in March, and it literally was a way of getting the staff to know each other outside of the establishment, try and build bonds, try and knock down maybe walls that can be built up in every kind of working environment. Now, whether you're in the city or whatever else, you can sometimes get people that don't necessarily associate with people underneath them and things like that. So it's a good way of leaving your, whatever level you're at the door as such, meeting outside, having a kick around, doing things that we love, and de-stressing from a day in the office as such. And originally it started off as being a six-a-side team. Again, just to kind of for fitness, for mental health, everything else as well, really. And then I think they got asked to literally play Serco Security in an 11-a-side game. Really enjoyed it, lost. But the Serco team had been put together for quite a long time. They'd played with each other for quite a long period of time. But the boys really enjoyed it. And then from that point, there was discussions with maybe make it an actual 11-a-side team. But because of the way people's detail is, you can't get the same people off over the weekend and things like that. So, there was no way that we were going to be able to enter a Saturday or a Sunday league or anything like that. So what could the next best thing be? And it was, well, let's do a charity team. So that way you could play on a Friday night or midweek or whatever it was. And basically that's kind of how that part then started. So like I say, that was in March. I mean, I didn't join yourself until June. So it shows you how how open they've been to kind of getting people involved from no matter how long you've been there, in a long time or short time. So that's been really good. All the guys have been really friendly. I've enjoyed my time so far there. And then with the charity side, it was kind of like, well, what charity can we kind of give the most back into or become a partnership with that also kind of maybe ties in with the jobs that we've got? And the one that we came up with was Chess Homeless. I mean, obviously I spoke to you about it before off the camera as well. And one of the main things that we kind of see where we are in the establishment is that, especially this time of year, you'll get a lot of homeless people that will commit a kind of a petty crime as such, to kind of almost get themselves within the walls for 6 months while it's cold out there, and it gives themselves a roof, some food and things like that. So really you don't want that to be encouraged to make them commit a crime to kind of get it. So we looked at maybe having that link of, what can we do to help maybe this charity raise some funds, raise awareness of what's going on with the homeless, and maybe with the money that's raised, not just from us, but obviously other people that are helping as well, to actually find funding to find housing for them, accommodation for them, food. I mean, the guys have done some great things as well in between sort of having games. We did a sleep out to help out. I think raised about just sort of 1,300, I think, from that night. Wow. Where the guys all slept, I want to say rough. It was outside the establishment. It was a very, very, very cold evening. But money was raised, and all the kit that was bought from the tents, the sleeping bags, everything else, which was all brand new. They used it for that evening, and that also got donated to Chess Homeless as well. So on that side of it, there's been a lot of things that we've kind of done. And like I say, for sort of the main part of it was raising the funds, raising the awareness, and just basically trying to help. And I think the fun thing of it is, like, doing it through football, it does seem to be one of those universal loves that everyone understands the language of football, don't they? Maybe apart from Slaven Bilic at times, but it's so far so good. I mean, we had our first game at Whittam Town's ground versus Essex Charity in September. And I'd say under the circumstances with COVID and everything else as well, it was a really successful night. I mean, in their own words, that was one of the most attendance that they've had. Obviously, the money went through the bar and that for them as well, so it helped sort of fund the club for them for Whittam Town. And a lot of money was raised that night. I mean, we were supposed to have 2 more games since then, but unfortunately, both games have been cancelled for different reasons. One, lockdown, like a couple of months ago. And then obviously last night we were due to play at our new home ground, Haybridge Swiss. So massive thank you to the owners there for partnering up with us on that one. They've been fantastic support. But because obviously the horrific sort of rain that we had over sort of 24, 40-hour period, the pitch was waterlogged, and obviously they're supposed to have a game today, so we do have to bear that in mind every time that we do use their ground on a Friday night. But we've got a lot more games coming up. We've got Sands in January, which is a charity that support families that have lost children that are stillborn and things like that. And the reason we're sort of playing them as well, obviously, one, it's a great charity. Two, one of our sponsors for the home kit, the Let Group, he unfortunately had experience with his daughter was born stillborn. So it's a charity that's massive to his heart, and for us, we kind of want to do that. If anyone that sponsors the team, gets behind the team, yes, we're partners with Chess Homeless, but we also want to kind of obviously raise awareness with other charities, especially the other teams that we play as well. I think there's a massive opportunity here to, especially now with COVID, everyone's feeling a bit down at times with lockdown. I mean, you said it yourself, you've been in lockdown for quite a long period now yourself, haven't you? So doing things like this is massively important. It keeps people communicating with each other. It's a way of kind of supporting things, also supporting fantastic charities and helping out. So we're pleased with that. But like I say, anyone that ever wants to get behind the team, we currently need a sponsor for tracksuits, like team tracksuits, because we don't want to arrive looking the part as well. We might not always play the part on the pitch, but all of that's important. And again, anyone that then has a charity close to their heart, we will try our best then to bring money, bring awareness, and develop it that way. I mean, going forward, other things that we've got kind of, like I said, when we're not playing football, we are trying to find different things. I spoke about the sleep out to help out. We also do like a 100 club quite regularly. I don't know if you've ever done anything like that as well, but you've got a sheet 1 to 100. It's as simple as that, really. Yeah. People pay £5, pick a number. We did a live draw last night on Instagram, which was quite fun. And then, funny enough, one of the players actually won it. It wasn't fixed, that's why we did it live. It's another good way of maybe raising a bit of money without it feeling like you're constantly asking people for cash as such. It's a way of making it fun, get them involved as well. So that's another one we've done. We're doing a half marathon in February for raising awareness of equality in football. Obviously, you've got the Laces Week this week and things like that. So again, that's something that we want to support, want to get behind. Football should be for everybody. That's what our club's about. We've potentially, hopefully, got some female officers that will be joining the team soon as well, because again, it should include everybody. There shouldn't be a reason why you can't get involved. So we're looking forward to that. We do raffles, we've got auctions coming up soon, and hopefully when lockdown sort of lifts up, we've got some quiz nights and maybe a karaoke night or something. I don't know, but we're trying to find different ways of raising money and different awareness. I mean, hopefully we can give you boys a game as well and support each other's charity. Maybe do a home and away game, something like that. Maybe call it the Every Man Matters Trophy or something like that, eh?
Yeah.
I'll say we've 100% get an Every Man Matters game against you guys. I know that's something that we've been talking about prior to this anyway. Again, a lot of it's just logistics. It's been a chaotic year, but in the new year, I'm pretty sure, Danny will be 100% up for that. I totally get that going. And but, do you think there's been? We sort of touched on it before the podcast that there's an increase in charity sides.
Yeah.
Is that purely a snowball effect of maybe 1 or 2 teams doing that and other people seeing the benefit, or has there, because of the lockdown, has there been more of a niche for it because of leagues being disrupted, but people just want it to play? What's your sort of take on it, Greg?
I think definitely agree with what you say on that. I think also maybe like people's take on football now with things like the amount of money that gets involved with Premiership and things like that. It is nice to bring it back to a grassroots kind of level and get it sort of back to remembering why you enjoyed playing the game in the first place. With the people that are around you, the banter, the support of your pals and things like that. And then if you can kind of tie it in by raising money for doing something you enjoy, the Premiership players and things like that, they're lucky, aren't they? They get paid to do something they should enjoy. Whereas for us, it's great to actually raise money for other people. It doesn't mean you've got to get paid to play it. I'd play for free every day of the week if I had all their skills, to a certain level. But, to be able to raise money, raise awareness for all these sort of charities are out there. You've got a lot of people that they put their time in for free, whether it's running a charity shop or whatever else as well, and don't always get the full appreciation and things like that. So if there's another way that we can kind of chuck in and put some money and awareness in there that makes people want to get involved, especially, like I say, this day and age now where there's so much doom and gloom and everything about other things going on, that actually it's nice to talk about things that are decent for a change. I think the best bit for me with the original lockdown was the clapping for the NHS. Being that we're frontline workers as well, it was nice to see appreciation for something else like that going on. For me, the moment that they actually stopped doing the clap was when people kind of started forgetting what we're kind of going through at the moment, if that makes sense. And there's no doubt for me why the spike went up again, but I'm not here to talk about politics or anything like that. But it does, for me, it's about raising awareness for everything and just bringing some good back into it, really, for me personally. And I'm sure like most of the boys would say the same. And for us, it is about charity first, football second.
Oh yeah, 100%. I say we mentioned on the show with Danny, I touched on it that charity football is just pure football. It's just enjoyment. I mean, I was playing for a very ambitious side. That it was the way it was run was high intensity. We have to win. If we don't win, it was almost like the end of the world. So a bad performance, you were letting down 17 other men, and it became unenjoyable. Again, involved with charity sides, it's again you're able to play football and actually enjoy it. And
maybe you get to meet different people that you wouldn't have had a chance to meet previously. Like would I've ever met you two guys? Probably not. But because of obviously everything that we're doing, it's fantastic. You meet new people all the time, and you're all talking about your experiences, what's made you want to do it, and things like that. And I can't think of anything better, really. I mean, like I say, there's so much doom and gloom going out there. It's actually nice to be talking about positive things for a change, even though in theory, obviously, the charities you're doing it for, there's a reason there's a charity for it, because there's obviously problems. But if we can help kind of maybe cut down those problems in any way, you know, it's not going to happen overnight, is it? But the more money that we can raise for these charities and like I say, bring awareness, then the better. It can only be good.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I was sort of thinking earlier that maybe could we see such an increase in charity sides that charity football, which sort of sometimes defeats the object for some teams, but could it become its own competition in the sense of there's so many teams all raising money for charity that charity football just almost overtakes grassroots. So every grassroots teams has this charity that they're sort of playing for. It could almost increase that level of football.
And maybe, and as you say, maybe increase people's enjoyment. So it doesn't just become about you worried about winning the league, you know, that year or get through a cup. And don't get me wrong, you know, I've been involved in teams and managed a team before, and you know, you have your day out for a cup run, and it's a fantastic feeling. But ultimately, there is no better feeling than helping other people, without a shadow of a doubt, that may be more unfortunate than yourself. And no matter what charity that is, they all deserve our time and effort to try and help these guys, without a shadow.
Yeah, it makes you feel good as well. Yeah. Crap performance, but you've raised £300 for a charity.
Exactly that.
It's completely forgotten, and because it is these charity sides, yeah, we have a bad performance. No one's going to tell you. It's because they're not there for that. Which is,
I think it helps you put a few things in perspective of life as well, doesn't it? I mean, with all the different charities out there, like I say, you know, you can see whether it be for cancer research, the Everyman Matters for yourself as well. We like the mental health side of it, obviously, which we do see quite a lot of as well. So it's another fantastic charity. That, you know, you do see all these unfortunate things that happen in life, and it is that kind of gentle reminder, that gentle kick up the backside, that, like, you know, you don't always have to be moaning about something, because there's always someone else worse off than you, and rather than sort of just whinging, do something about it. And I think this is what it does. It gives you that chance to do something about it, but also enjoy yourself and meet new people in, you know, in the sort of the sort of concept of doing it, which is, like I say, for me, it's fantastic.
Yeah, totally. I say you're obviously raising money. Your main charity is homelessness.
Yeah.
And you mentioned that there's obviously that correlation in the police force with seeing homelessness.
Prison service.
Yeah, sorry, that's what I meant. It's yeah, so within the prisons, and we mentioned it like before the show as well, about, you know, people do commit petty crimes just to almost exploit the prison service as to get a roof over their head, which, and you can't really blame them for that. To a certain degree. You can blame the way they're going about it, but their motivations are completely unjust, in my opinion. I do feel there's with homelessness, there's a stigma about it, that if you're homeless, that's what you deserve. You deserve to be on the streets. And they're, you know, they're lowest rate citizens to some people.
Of course, and I said it to you before we came on, didn't I? That you know, for where we are, you do see that maybe we could all be like one moment away from ending up inside prison, you know, and then that can then have a knock-on effect for everything. So you could do, I don't know, you could have an accident. You know, you're in a car, you're in an accident, you've accidentally killed someone in there. The next thing you know, obviously you're then in prison, you're serving time, and then on the back of that, you lose your job, you lose your house, your family doesn't want to know you anymore, and things like that. So it can happen to literally any one of us. And, you know, you do see that there's people inside sometimes that you do think, how the hell have you ended up here? And then, you know, you hear their story, and it can be awful sometimes, because, you know, there are people in there that, like I say, you just, any walk of life, you think, how are you here? But it could happen to any single one of us. And I think, again, that's why the chest homeless thing is important, because if, you know, hey, they have ended up in there, and it's just through maybe unfortunate circumstances at times as well, that to have that knock-on effect, to lose your job, lose your house and everything else as well, because this has happened. That's when chest homelessness is important as well, because, you know, they can support these guys afterwards when they get out to try and find accommodation, or, you know, put them up for the night somewhere in a hostel, giving them food, like I say, even if it's tents and sleeping bags and things like that, the food banks, all of that type of stuff. It's just important. And there's certain things that I think we all take for granted at times. And then like I say, you do see things like this, and it does kind of give you a bit of a wake up call. And we've all been guilty of it. You can see someone homeless sometimes, maybe on the street, and you think, "Are you really homeless? Are you doing it because there's a bit of a con thing going on here as well?" But there are some genuine, 99% of them are genuine ones out there, and they really do need people's help. And as you say, not have a stigma sort of attached to them that they deserve to be there, because, like I said, there's a majority that don't, and it is just due to some unforeseen circumstances, whether they've been kicked out of home or whatever else. Not everyone has a great life upbringing or anything as well, do they? There can be a lot of circumstances that lead into things like this, and again, it is just a way of bringing awareness, getting people to kind of look at it, and I say maybe not take their own life for granted as well. If you even get that kind of side of it, if people start looking at themselves and appreciate what they've got, then it means it's worked on that side of it as well.
Yeah. So for me, I was brought up with respect for homeless people. My dad's uncle was homeless for a large portion of his life, and this was something he'd done by choice. He reached a point in his life, and without going into the reasons behind it, he basically chose to live on the streets. And I was just brought up with the whole, the respect to homeless people. I've always, given them a change. And it's just from a young age. I remember being a little kid going down the high street with my dad, and he would chuck in some change to homeless people, just regardless.
Well, you go to McDonald's or something like that, and you buy an extra burger to give them or something like that. But that's when the genuine ones, because they are grateful to get the food, not necessarily waste the money and things like that. You come part, and I think it's just realising they're not invisible. That's the main thing, isn't it? So there's, so many times that people just put their head down and we've all been guilty of it at times that, you'll put your hand up to it and you respect them. But there are times that we've all been guilty of it because maybe you haven't got something to give them. So you feel bad within yourself as well.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, Will, what would be your honest sort of opinion of you growing up when it comes to homelessness?
It's a tough one. Like, no one deserves not to have a roof over their head. It's not really... It's nothing a lot of people can do, and raising money is a temporary fix for some people. Like, you're never going to raise enough money to put a roof over everyone's head.
Right.
But what everyone's doing for it, at least you're putting a roof over someone's house, someone's head for a night, 2 nights, putting food in their belly.
That's it. Sleeping bags, that's it. Things like that, tents, anything. It's just a way of trying to help them in some kind of way.
Yeah, and anything anyone does to help, like even if it's just putting £1, buying them a burger, as you said, like you always see these hairdressers going out and giving them haircuts as well.
That's it.
Like that is something small like that. So that's someone trained to do that, going in to the streets, giving them a free haircut, and that gives them a bit of confidence to maybe go out, look for a part-time job or just something to get a little bit of money to put a roof over their head. And you're right with saying about the hostels. Maybe the councils, I know your charity money would go to this charity to help pay for it, but maybe the councils could look putting some money towards it to put in hostel. I stayed in hostels for a year when I was away. The hostels are dirt cheap. Why aren't councils looking at helping with that? But with respect to the homeless people, if I see them on the streets, I'll always try and help them out. But these days, you don't really carry cash on you, do you? And
no.
That's the awful part.
No, especially not during COVID. I wouldn't want to get sued for having maybe COVID on a £5 note or something that you end up giving them. The next thing they track you down or something like that, and getting sued for it. But no, it's. But then saying that, I've seen ones with the card machines, or they've got a better mobile phone than me sometimes. You think, hang on a minute, what's going on here? But no, for the genuine ones, yeah, any way that you can kind of help it, it's perfect. Yeah,
but what you guys are doing is like, it's not just the one charity, you're doing multiple charities as well. But what you guys are doing is amazing, and every penny you make is hard earned as well. Especially, as you're saying off camera, you work in a 12-hour day sometimes, and then the next day you've got your day off, and then you're playing a 90-minute football match. You guys must be...
Maybe 5 minutes in my case or something like that, but,
So
it all helps.
I did a 15-minute cameo yesterday, and I came off, and I was just like, yeah, I can't do this anymore.
What was your result yesterday? You had a good game, didn't you?
Yeah, Every Man Matters 7. I can't remember the name of the other team. 1. Yeah, it was a good game to watch. I was lucky enough to get a bit of a cameo, as I said. Should have scored, should have hit it with power, not go for a little dink. But yeah, hat off to Danny. He came off and let me have a run round. And yeah, I think they raised 300 last night.
Fantastic. Well, I say in this circumstance at the moment where money's tight for people, and obviously even trying to get people across at the moment because all the different tiers and things that keep changing every day and stuff, I think anything now is absolutely fantastic. And like I say, for all the people that have got involved with us, from everything from, like I say, the Haybridge Swift owners, the sponsors on the kit, just everything like that. It is fully appreciated. You know, like I say, we're not going to take that for granted. We're trying to push every single day to get more people involved, and we're trying to push them as well and get them out there as much as possible as we do the other teams that we play in their charities. I mean, really, one of our main aims is that we get to a point, and it almost ties in to what you're saying, Ollie, about kind of like sort of a charity league almost, but we want to get to a bit where we're almost playing the same team sort of annually. So you've almost got that fixture in the diary every year. So then you've got it in the planner already, that you know what's coming up the following year, and you keep supporting each other, whether it be home and away games and things like that as well. And I just think, I mean, I did hear a rumour the other day that there is actually going to be a charity league set up or something like that across like the whole of the UK. So teams will actually kind of get a chance to play each other, but whether that rumour's true or not, but that does sound quite good. A good way of doing it. Again, draws more attention to every single charity that's involved.
Yeah, my worry to that would be some people would join it for the football reasons and see it as easy pickings to take on some, you know, teams that we don't pride ourselves on ability, do we? We pride it on.
No, I mean, like for us, one of our core things is like a contract that kind of goes out to every player, is that, you know, you are involved because it's the charity, not just because you want to try and smash teams or whatever every time you're playing and things like that, and for your selfish reason that you want to play 90 minutes or whatever, otherwise, you know, you're going to throw your bloody thing out the pram and stuff. But that's what we say. It's like, you know, you have to bring something to the party. You have to want to help the charity. You have to be like pure about it and support it and back it up. Bring something to the party, if you like, before like the football bit happens. Because like I say again, the football bit is second, the charity side of it is first, and that is something that's drummed out for all the guys. I mean, so far, like I say, for all the guys that I've met on there, and I've only been here, like I say, since June, they work so hard behind the scenes, all of them. You know, trying to sort of raise the awareness of it, whether it be through the media side, you know, trying to sort out events, trying to speak to people to help us out a little bit with some things, because ultimately you obviously still need funding to keep a club going, to be able to do all these great things for the charity. You know, we are a non-profitable club, a bit like yourselves, and you just literally want to make as much money as you possibly can. And like I say, you can't do it without support from the right people, and that starts within the team, and also from the people outside of it, whether it be friends and family coming along just to cheer you along, to see you fall over the ball and make an arse of yourself or whatever else. You know, it doesn't matter, does it? It's there. So it's all about the fun of it. Bring the fun back into football. Like I say, I think it's taken itself far too seriously for too long now. Oh, I think Newcastle have gone 2-0 up.
All right, but he's not having a good night, your old man, then.
No, actually, it's 1-0. That's right. It's just the end of the first half.
Was it?
Looked like he was celebrating again, but they just brought it into half time. No,
I know this isn't part of the opening 45, but Dortmund are doing rubbish at the moment. They're 3-1 down to Stuttgart. It's the second half there, and I know this has got nothing to do with it, but it's just flashed up on my screen. Dortmund are one of the best teams in Germany, and Stuttgart are like a mid-table to the lower half, and they're just losing 3-1, and they're at home, Dortmund.
I wonder what the odds would be for them to turn it round second half.
Yeah.
57 minutes gone. Oh, was it?
Yeah. Wow.
Oh, I'll say we're coming to the end on this one. We've only got a few minutes left. If you were to give one final message to people listening to, basically go and follow your team.
Yeah. I mean, if they could literally, follow all our Instagram. We've got, like I say, a lot of fixtures coming up. I've got the fixtures on here as well. If obviously everything pans out the way it should do. We have got our next game will be the 22nd of January, which is against Sands. We're then playing Palmer's FC on the 5th of Feb, which hopefully should be a big game. Again, both of these are at home at Haybridge Swiss. We've then got a return match against Essex Charities on the 12th of March. And then we've got a couple of games that need to be rearranged. But yeah, we've got some good things coming up. Keep following us where you can on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. We've got all these pages on there. Like most of them obviously start with the kind of at Springfield Road FC. Just try and get along. Remember what it should be about. It should be about raising money for some good charities, not just our own one, but obviously the teams that we're playing, keeping people together, especially like this day and age where it is hard to see friends and family at certain times, and just literally get behind where you can. Every penny helps. It doesn't have to be £100 donation or something like that. It can literally be, a quid on a raffle ticket. It all builds up. It all helps. It all goes to a good cause. If there's anyone out there as well that would like to sponsor us in any way, that would be fantastic as well. Because I say everyone's support is absolutely critical for making this work over the long term. But you know, again, thanks for everyone that has supported so far. Thanks for having us on today. Like I say, just to try and bring a bit more awareness about it, and that's been really good. And Merry Christmas.
Yeah, that's coming up, isn't it?
That's really going up. I say we're gonna wrap it up now. I say brilliant to have you on, and as we said before the show, we'll get you on again at another point to have an update on how things have gone. I say we've started charity clubs in a real turmoil time, and hopefully post COVID, we'll all go from strength to strength. It'd be good to have you back on to talk about the success you've had. Basically, we'll link all your details for the club in the description below as well, and we'll tweet all those out so everyone can go and make sure they go and follow you as well. We'll also get all the socials up on the screen now for myself and Will, and you know, reach out to the show as well, the opening 45, and all about the charities. But
you're doing great work, guys, as well, and I hope the following just builds and builds and builds and builds. Like I say, it's massively important what you're doing as well. It's really good, and like I say, I appreciate the invite as we all do for being able to come on and talk about the.
Not at all. I say, and until next time, this has been the opening 45, and we'll see you next week. Cheers, guys.
See you next week.